Hi, I'm Amber Sim. We're here at the Beach Channel discussing South Florida homes, and we're here with Wilson Chueire from Douglas Elliman, who is kind enough to come and talk about two of his listings in Belmead. And he's going to talk about one in Belmead and one in Belmead Island, both new construction. So without further ado, just a quick intro on yourself, and then we can launch into the properties.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
I was born and raised in Brazil. I lived a few years in New York, where I went to school, moved to LA, where I've been practicing real estate for many years. Mainly, obviously, the high-end homes of LA, but also new development, which is quite different from Miami. But as of recently, I've decided to change my base and be based here in Miami. Since the pandemic, a lot of people migrated from LA to Miami. A lot of my clients moved here. You see this gravitational pull towards Miami, the life and all the changes that happened throughout the pandemic. So here I am, and I moved here September of last year.
Okay.
And I've been sort of centering or specializing in an area called Belmead in Miami, where I believe there's a tremendous amount of value and upside.
And so you're still kind of working both locations as well, correct?
Yes, as much as possible.
Yeah.
I felt that in the beginning, I had to really try to put as much time as possible here in Miami.
Yeah.
But as needed, back and forth
Back
in
and
LA,
forth.
where I still have some business and clients.
Yeah.
But Miami is my new base.
Okay. And can you talk a little bit about the differences in those markets? Like, let's talk about maybe even just COVID time. Like, were you seeing kind of the same, were they both kind of just like having the same sort of like activity?
Well, it was quite different.
Yeah.
I think Miami had a boom that we all watched in awe
Yeah.
to see what happened to the market here. And that started to create that current of migration. I think politically speaking as well, it was a much better place to be, where people felt more comfortable. LA was drastic in every way, lockdowns and all that. Initially, we saw uncertainty on the market, but then as people couldn't travel, we saw, for example, the market in Malibu exploded. So people wanted to get situated there because obviously you're on the beach.
Yeah.
It felt like you're on vacation. You can work remotely from there. But yeah, in that sense, during COVID, it was quite different. Now, the differences between the markets are also very drastic. I think Miami and LA, starting with geography, Los Angeles has a lot of hillside. Is a big part of real estate. You have a lot of domestic buyers there. I think it's just more fueled by domestic buyers. Whereas Miami has a lot of international buyers. They have a lot of Latin American families, Europeans that have second homes here. They like to invest here. And also the profile of buyers that you see in LA is different than here. There you have a lot of entertainers. You have a lot of actors, producers, directors, creators in general, entrepreneurs. And I think here in Miami, you have a lot more, crypto, hedge fund managers. You have the tech people that moved here. And as I said, all the Latin American, European business as well.
So yeah, you have like different industries that drive kind of the activity that you're seeing. And then, like you said, also like the topography has a bigger influence probably in LA, because you do have hills.
Yeah.
Pretty flat here. But yeah, I imagine that brings up like a different wave of concerns as well too. So Belmead, I know, some of the concern, you're by the water, there's flooding, there's hurricanes people worry about here. Whereas like over in California, you have earthquakes. I guess just maybe talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we can talk about one thing they have in common, which is a ridiculously high insurance policy.
Fair.
LA, you have obviously the earthquakes and the fires more recently that have really become a real concern. And here, obviously, the hurricanes. But I think that there's a lot of similarities also in terms of, like you touched upon Belmead, which is an area that has waterways all throughout. So you have Belmead, and then we have Belmead Island. So we're going to have all the canals like running through Belmead, and then they open up towards the bay on Belmead Island. So the waterfront properties here would be similar to what we have in Malibu in LA, which is the only place that you're going to really find waterfront, actually beachfront in some cases. But and then in that way, it's similar. The markets are similar, but we see Belmead. I see a tremendous opportunity right now in terms of, what it is, the proximity that it has to Miami Design District, to Wynwood, to the beach, and you have this like incredible combination of Miami old charm with all these beautiful modern contemporary masterpieces that are quietly being built and elevating the area. So I think that it's not quite like Sunset Islands or Venetian, but you do have a lot of value and upside on that area.
So maybe we can dive into the first property and just kind of talk about some of the new construction and this listing you have, which is 725 Northeast 77th Street. Maybe talk a little bit about the property and, the...
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm currently working with a very prolific developer on that area. His name is Michael Nuri, someone that's gone above and beyond, considering these are spec homes. I mean, he's building to resell. He puts a lot of care, a lot of thought, a lot of craftsmanship in all of his properties. And this particular house sits on a 17,000 square foot lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
For that area.
For that area. It's pretty big because you see the bigger lots actually in Belmead Island. And as you can see also, he built this entirely open space, which is like this massive loft, as I like to call it, with 6 bedrooms, 7.5 bath, seamless indoor and outdoor flow.
Wow.
We have this incredible scale and volume in the living room, 21 feet ceilings.
Wow.
With this open kitchen. So this is an entertainer's
That's incredible.
dream, right? So if somebody that likes to entertain, work remotely, could be a family, could be somebody single, could be a couple. Or somebody that just likes to, be home in style, Great serene pool. It has a backyard. And he spends a tremendous amount of money on putting incredible lush greens around the property. And you do have, as I said, you have a dock. So you'll be probably 5-6 minutes away from the open bay. So this is, I think this is the perfect property in Miami. To have something like that under 12 million, it's a screaming buy.
Wow, yeah, that looks incredible. I love like in the living space too, how it's just like such a seamless flow. Like you said, you can see the outdoor space. You have that wonderful kitchen. Can you talk a little bit about some of the features within the kitchen?
Sure. It's got this incredible kitchen island, which is a Taj Mahal. You can see it's really uniquely cut. It's got these beautiful Delano cabinets, 3 different finishes. You have the mirrored, you have automotive painting on the light color ones, and you have Italian melamine on the paneling that we have on the side there. Wolf appliances, Sub-Zero. We have a monogram gas range with a Catura downdraft. All top of the line appliances. And again, it was designed so you can entertain. People love to cook and have that, seamless integration with the living. Potentially, instead of having some of this art on the wall, have a big TV if you're somebody that like to entertain. You still have your home theater there, which is incredible.
Wow.
But it really is a house built to have people over and have a great time.
Yeah, no, it looks incredible. And the summer kitchen outside, it's such a nice flow.
Exactly.
Is the pool, is that on the ground level?
It's on the ground level, yes. And then right adjacent to the pool there, we have a massage room, which is incredible also.
Wow.
I think a lot of people love that lifestyle, right? You want to relax, get your massage done at home. Look at this backyard.
That's amazing.
This is like a blank canvas. We just basically have it, that way so you can envision what suits your lifestyle. If you have kids, if you have dogs, if you like to put a very long dining table there, we have like chairs to lay out. People have talked about putting a basketball court. Some people flirted with the idea of having a paddle court. Paddle is a big thing here in Miami. I'm a big advocate of that, but I don't know if you're going to have space on this particular backyard, but you have a lot of room for imagination.
And it looks like you already have the privacy too. You have the established hedges. So even if you do, is it paddle or padel?
Well, that's.
I feel like that's like, I haven't gotten a clear answer.
Nobody can answer.
I'll just go with your lead with paddle, but you still be covered even with the what is it, glass that surrounds it.
Yes, now it would be tight. It
Yeah,
would be
it would
tight,
be
but you'd be surprised how many people are looking for that kind of space to put their own paddle court.
Yep, yeah. And then so it also looks like it's built up as well too. Is that the case?
Yeah, it's 2 floors. We have 8,210 square feet, 8,210 square feet. As I said before, 6 bedrooms, 7.5 bath. We have 2 office spaces. One is currently staged as a massage room, but it really is a property that has it all. You know,
and it looks like that's the primary suite. Is that the view?
Yes, that's the view of the primary. He chose to landscape the backyard, so you are actually protected from the water side. So there's privacy, but you can just quickly go around some of that lush green and you can see your dock and you can just step onto your boat.
Got it. And I also imagine that protects against some of the wind and everything that comes through too. So, oh my God, that bathroom is incredible.
Look at that oversized shower.
Wow. That's so nice. And I love the upper windows to get the light in and everything. And
yeah, you see that all throughout the house. It has a lot of windows everywhere. So it really is, we talk about how much light this property brings in. It really is a tropical modern construction, right? With a lot of scale, a lot of volume, and a lot of light coming through.
Yeah, no, it does seem like great high ceilings. And then, like you said, what was it, 18, 20 feet?
21 actually.
21, wow. Yeah, no, it's beautiful. And it's nice because it's obviously a modern property, but because there's so many of those like natural elements in it, has a very like relaxing kind of utopian feel to it.
Right, very neutral, yet it's very elegant. And you can see these were shots that we did at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You can see how the lighting really brings the property alive.
Yeah.
This is the indoor and outdoor flow. So you can see you have a lounge area next to the outdoor kitchen. And the lighting is also very particular. I mean, the way he's done it, it's very discreet, very minimalistic.
Do you know how big the dock size is? Like what kind of water frontage you have?
50.
50,
yeah,
wow.
But you could surprisingly fit a 75-footer.
Wow.
Because of the way the land bends. So you have a little extra room on the side.
Wow. And so what did you say that you said this was under 12, correct?
Under 12 million. So that brings the price to about $1,460 a foot,
really
which for a waterfront, new build in LA, see what happens?
It's okay.
That's
we
what
were
happens.
talking about it,
In Miami, it's unheard of. Everything is over $2,000 a foot now.
You couldn't get this in LA, you know.
No. Well, there's some pretty spectacular homes in LA,
that's fair.
It's different.
Different. Yeah. No, that's amazing. So let's change gears a little bit. I mean, that's an incredible property, but hopping over to Belmead Island, you have 905 Belmead Island Drive.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about this property.
Yeah, this property is still in construction.
Okay.
And that's just definitely going to start redefining the island. I mean, the island has about 53 single-family homes right now.
Okay.
22 of them have permits for development.
Wow.
So there's a lot of activity. I like to say that Belmead is just like Miami best kept secret.
Yeah.
It's happening very quietly, but in 2 or 3 years from now, you're going to see a tremendous amount of change. And this is one of the properties that we're going to be listing in the next couple of months. This is over 9,000 square feet.
Wow.
It's got incredible outdoor and indoor amenities. Here we have 100 feet of waterfront.
Wow.
You're closer to the bay. You can see some similarities in terms of finishes and layout, which I would say this is a 2.0 version of 725. And it has this incredible pool on the side. It has a Hammam spa.
Wow.
This is going to be listed at about 25 million.
Wow. Okay. And so this is the same developer, correct?
Same developer.
Same developer.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, how do you access this property? Like, is it do you have to go through Belmead or?
So Belmead Island, you go through Belmead, which is a gated community. Once you pass the gate and you head over and you're going to cross over one of the fixed bridges that they have there.
Okay.
And that brings you to another gate. So it's double gated.
Double gated,
if you live in Belmead Island, you double gated. So Michael Nuri, who's the developer of these incredible homes, he's very invested in the island. And he actually is improving the security of Belmead Island, as well as bringing Wi-Fi to the island and all that for the residents. So we're finding that Belmead Island is really becoming this very secure, secluded, yet accessible from a standpoint of like you can get to everywhere in town very quickly, part of Miami. And we're seeing a lot of interest, even though this property particularly is not done yet. We're getting a lot of interest just from talking to people, because at the end of the day, again, you're not paying $3,500, $3,000 a foot. You're paying a lot less, and that's where the real value comes into play.
Yeah, and especially you're saying there's really not that many homes. It's still accessible. You have that added layer of security, and then you're getting these like stunning views and construction that you're seeing in some of the higher end pockets of Miami. But like you said, you're not paying quite the same like price per square foot.
Correct.
That you're paying in this area, which you can see a lot of similarities to the other house. It does seem like this one, he went more with like a moody kind of sophisticated vibe. But I don't know, you tell me, is that's what I'm picking up?
Yeah, it's a little bit higher end finishes, as you can see. I mean, you can see, look at the kitchen island, for example. Everything he does is very well crafted. It's particular, it's unique, yet you don't use the same choices of stones in different houses. It has a similar layout because the layout that actually works. It's open, it's what people want these days. Yet you have a distinctive product here when you compare it to the other that we just discussed. And here we have that bookshelf it's built all the way up to the ceiling. It really brings the scale. It's a very vast living room, and I think you got all these outdoor views from inside the house, which is really is special. I can't wait to see the finished version of that. But it's got great water views from the primary. And like I said, when you have that much water frontage and you can work the layout of the pool and the outdoor space, it really makes a huge difference, because I mean, it's really an incredible home. I mean, if you have kids and you like to entertain, that's how these houses are being designed with that in mind.
So for some of these pre-construction tours, like, are you kind of seeing people that come in and they want to make a lot of changes? Or I mean, there's always like the risk when you design like a spec home and people start touring and they want to like modify things. Like, have you seen any of that on the tours? Or
not these houses. I mean, surprisingly, I mean, not surprisingly, because I tend to agree. I mean, he's done a phenomenal job with the lots and what we had, whatever challenges were there. I mean, he just addressed it in a nice way where people understand it. So there hasn't been many people with huge changes. Maybe things such as instead of doing a bedroom, I'm going to turn this into a men's cave. But that's not a change in the structure. It's just basically how we staged it and how they envision their lifestyle to be, so that those changes will take place for their living. There is a bridge that you can see on the corner of this picture right here in the right lower corner, which is all glass.
Oh, wow.
So I have a problem with heights, even if it's just one flight. So he developed this feature where you basically hit a button and it turns black.
Wow.
So you actually have a bridge that changes color and bridges you over to where the bedroom side is.
That's so cool.
It's so cool. It's just obviously the effect. It's something people talk about. And this particular property has also a chef's kitchen, besides having the open kitchen on the as part of the living integration that we see there.
No, that sounds incredible. And you said the primary suite too. It looks like you said it's going to have views out, waterfront. And I assume, amazing bathroom, amazing closets, like the works.
Yes, everything in a hammam spa. It's going to have a cold plunge, everything you can possibly imagine. I mean, if I had a house like that, I just wouldn't leave.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just me.
So just to kind of wrap up, we just have, one question and then we'll let you go. But I guess, obviously in luxury, high end, in real estate, relationships are everything. And it sounds like, yeah, you've made like a few different moves, and it sounds like you've kind of kept your same client base. What's one way you've built lasting trust with your high net worth clients?
Listen, I think that trust is everything in real estate. I've always been a relationship kind of guy. I've always been in sales, and I've been in hospitality as well, which is strictly a relationship building business. And I think that is just honesty, transparency, and work ethically. Those are the three things that I think helps you earn that trust. And obviously knowledge. I mean, real estate, you have to have a lot of local knowledge of what you're specializing in. And that automatically builds trust.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And I'm very impressed you've been able to do it in multiple cities, because real estate and building that knowledge is very difficult. So congrats on these listings and making the full transition to Miami. It's been amazing having you on, and thanks for sharing these wonderful properties.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so that's it for South Florida Homes. We look forward to having you tune in for the next one as well.